nothing like fog and mist and the light breaking through to create fantastic atmosphere in your paintings. Here are some examples to help you if you have a problem in that area, and if not, maybe you'll just enjoy. So, here we go! First painting is Peggy's Cove in the fog. This would be late afternoon or early evening. Notice how the sailboat is more defined because it's up closer, and the lighthouse and the rocks are blurred because they're deep in the fog. But the light shining through just creates an awesome atmosphere, and so do the reflections, and the gulls are just subtly there as well. Here's another good old days of Peggy's Cove painting. This one turned out better than I expected. I really like it. The buildings in the foreground, again, notice they're more defined. The building on the right is less defined, and on the left there's a couple of buildings there. They're enshrouded in the fog, but notice the light at the top of the painting just peeking through, and all that gives a mysterious feeling and emotion in the painting. In this Peggy's Cove lighthouse painting, notice again the light breaking through and the fog hanging around, and the reflections just after a storm, a calm. And notice how the colors in the background are muted, and they're more brilliant in the front. Well, it's not really brilliant, but they're more defined because there's less fog. This next painting is another of my good old days of Peggy's Cove. Notice the storm has passed and the break is coming in the clouds, and yet the light is shining on the fish door on the right. Notice the light. It gives an awesome feeling. It's just, the peace and the calm that come after a storm has passed. Beam on lighthouse. Again, you notice the waves are gently rolling, a little bit of a swell, but the beam shining through the clouds. And you've seen that, I'm sure, when a storm is breaking, how the light shines through in a beam. And this one it just offers emotion and feeling, and the joy you have when you see the light breaking through. There's something magic about it. The beauty of painting wet on wet is every once in a while you'll have a happy accident. And that's what happened in this Over the Crest, I call it. This painting just fell together in about 20 minutes. It just happened. The flow is there, the emotion in the waves and the seagulls, and the light breaking through again. It just creates a wonderful feeling and joy it brings to you. You can place yourself right there in the painting. This 24 by 30 oil, after a storm out at sea, big swells, no more wind, and notice the light shining on the water and on the schooner. Your eye comes in from the left corner, you run in along through the wave, past the schooner, and then up out through the sky. It's the S, or the Hogarth curve, but the mood that the reflection of the light brings to you with the fog hanging around, it just brings peace knowing that you made it safely through the storm. Here's another 24 by 30 oil, and again, this is, you may see a pattern here where I love doing paintings after the storm. And the lone gull flying through, brings a sense of peace. Yet again here the light reflects with the fog hanging around. It's just peaceful, and when a lot of people see this, they just, So it's rewarding to know that you've touched a heart. Here's a little watercolor that I did as a demonstration, waves, and notice again the direction that the light is coming and reflecting on the crests of the waves. It's just another one of those peaceful moments. Here's an example of the Hogarth curve. Now it's a backwards S, or more like a Z, you'll see, but it gives you that flow. And I loved going fishing when I was a kid. And again, notice how the distant trees just flow into the sky, and that light, it brings you tranquility. By now you can probably tell I love the water, whether it's lakes or ocean. Amazing to see the reflections on the water. I mean, I never get tired of looking at it. Notice how soft the edges of the trees are, and the effect of the mist hanging through the sky reflecting on the water. It's just a peaceful scene to relax the mind. There's nothing like letting your paint flow when it's wet and wet. And this one, even when I just tilted my paper down, you'll see how the reflections kind of swirl. Now, you probably would never really see that in real life, but it just gives the movement and the effect. Again, notice how the light comes in when you come in on the right-hand corner. You go up through and then out through the sky. It's another one of those peaceful moments. If you've ever done any hiking, no doubt you've come across scenes like the lake here. It's one of my favorite. Again, I just picture myself walking along there with the light breaking through, the sunlight, you know how it is, with the hills in the distance just faded out. And when it's wet and moist like that, the color is rich, but yet the fog mutes it, and it just creates a wonderful atmosphere. So this concludes our little show of moods created by fog, mist, and light. And may your brush create what you see in your mind.